I didn't want to make this video. I mean, I did, but I didn't think I had to. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I hate Sonic Forces. I hate this game with all my heart. I hate hearing about it, I hate looking at it, I hate that it even exists. Which is why I rip on it in almost every video I put out. And at least once a week on Twitter. But somehow, even with some of my even deeper explanations in my videos, some people don't understand what it is I loathe about this game. My small jabs here and there just haven't been enough. So this is an entire video explaining why I think it's the worst Sonic game of all time and why I hate Sonic Forces. To get a full scope of the reasoning behind my hatred, we have to start at the beginning. Sonic has been my favorite video game character since I was just a little kid. Ever since the first time I played Sonic Adventure 2, I thought he was the coolest thing ever. I got sucked into the gameplay, the stories, the characters. The more I dove into the Sonic universe, the more I adored it. And it stayed that way until 2011. The first game I played in the meta era was Sonic Generations. I didn't have a Wii at the time that Sonic Colors had come out, so I never got to experience it at that point. So on Christmas morning in 2011, I got my first experience of the meta era, the new voices, and the new writing. And that's when my entire perception on Sonic changed. The once cool character that I loved now sounded like a middle-aged man pretending to be a cool kid.
Hey, not cool!
With terrible jokes and no edge at all whatsoever, coupled with a story and writing that felt less like a video game and more like a Saturday morning preschool cartoon. But hey, it still had my favorite characters and some incredible gameplay. So of course I still really loved the game, but it did make me nervous for what was coming next. And that nervousness was well founded because things only got worse. I've made a video about my experience with the entire meta era before, you can watch that here, but I'll summarize it real quick. The bad writing and humor got way worse as the games went on. And even worse than that, the gameplay did too. So with that steady decline, I was losing hope that I would ever enjoy a new Sonic game ever again. I of course kept replaying all the games I loved before all the way up through Generations, but nothing really hit after that. It just felt like all of a sudden my favorite video game series was now only meant for small children, and I wasn't meant to enjoy it anymore. But then, the trailer dropped. A city on fire. A giant Death Egg robot walks through the rubble. We see Sonic overlooking the destruction and getting angry. It's been a while since I've seen Sonic look like that. And as he runs, classic Sonic shows up? That's kind of weird, but last time he showed up, things were pretty good, so that could be cool. A little while after that, we got the official trailer, showing off even more, including gameplay. Modern Sonic having his traditional boost formula, classic Sonic looking like he played in Generations, and a custom character looking more like modern Sonic's gameplay, but with a gun. The story was about Eggman successfully taking over the world, with Sonic and friends having to take it back. That is a cool premise, and all the characters looked like they were pissed and actually cared about what was going on. So maybe we were finally getting back to a story that took itself at least a little bit seriously. Finally, the trailer was topped off with some classic villains, and Zavok, returning, along with a new mysterious enemy floating up above. A new original character that used an attack that had the same exact sound as the Phantom Ruby from Sonic Mania. When people realized that, theories went nuts. And why wouldn't they? Linking the game in with the last really awesome game that just came out shows that they really cared about where this story was going. Something's going on. Having Mania tie in with the next 3D mainline game was such a cool concept. I couldn't believe that they were actually trying to do something cool this time. After all of that and everything leading up to this game, I thought for sure Sonic was back. The Sonic I loved had returned, and all I had to do was wait for this amazing game to come out. Launch day finally came, and everything I was led to believe about this game was a complete lie. The darker, more serious concept for the story was just that, a concept. In execution, it was the same as ever, written for 2 to 4-year-olds. The characters were written just as bad as they had been for the last few years, and the gameplay for each of the 3 playable characters felt more like a rip-off of what they were trying to emulate. Now look, even for bad games, the honeymoon phase exists. It is real. We're all guilty of it, including myself for this game. My honeymoon phase for Sonic Forces lasted at least until the 3rd mission. It took about that long for me to realize what had happened. I was tricked into thinking this was gonna be different. But to be fair, it was different. Not only was the story and writing bad this time, but playing the game itself was absolutely boring. At that point in time in 2017, Sonic Forces finally answered the question that was haunting my mind for years. That question being, are Sonic games still good? Do I still like them? And after playing this game, the answer was clear. No. Sonic from now on will just be shovelware made for small children, and I'm not meant to enjoy it. I've said this before in another video, but this analogy makes sense to me. Imagine loving Spider-Man, who doesn't? There's tons of different media, there's comic books, there's movies, there's TV shows, everything, and anybody can enjoy Spider-Man. Now imagine Spider-Man is only the movies. Maybe a few spin-offs here and there, but that's it. But then after getting the Tobey Maguire movies, the Andrew Garfield movies, the Tom Holland movies, all of a sudden, the only movies that are going to come out from now on are movie versions of that kids show Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Just out of nowhere. Before, anyone could sit and watch a Spider-Man movie and love it. Little kids, teenagers, adults. It's awesome. But now, every single Spider-Man movie is written only for kids. Little kids. That's what it felt like. And you get the people that say, well, Sonic is meant for kids. He's always just been meant for kids. No, it hasn't always been like that. I'm sure the majority of fans are kids and younger people, but it wasn't just made with them in mind. It was made for anyone to enjoy. But from 2010 and onward, that phase was just suddenly gone, evaporated. I always thought if I give it time, eventually it'll become good again. I'll love the series again and it'll just be good. But when Sonic Team blatantly lied to my face, making me think we were going back to when Sonic was actually cool, that's when I lost all hope. Sonic was still my favorite video game character, and no matter how Sonic Team betrayed me, they couldn't take away how great their past games were. And even with that betrayal, I was still gonna buy any Sonic game that came out. But from now on, I would never expect it to be good. Sonic Team doesn't care, neither do I. As for the video game part of it, the game itself, it just kind of sucks. In the aspect of all Sonic games, the only thing it has going for it is it functions. It works great, but it's still extremely boring and extremely short. But I could forgive those things. I can forgive boring or short Sonic games. I could forgive everything that game did wrong, except the lies, the false hope. That's what makes this the worst Sonic game of all of them. And yeah, I'm including 06. Sure, that has glitches, but that's because it's unfinished. This game is finished. What's its excuse? Sonic Forces was packaged as a lie, as an intentional trick to make you think it was good. And it was worse than anything they had put out in years. That's why I hate Sonic Forces. But if there is one good thing to come out of it, it's this. Sonic Forces finally made Sonic Team realize all they were doing was churning out garbage, and it turned everything around. So even though I hate this game with every fiber of my being, I do have to say thank you, Sonic Forces. Thank you for being so fucking bad that you actually turned the entire series around. You kickstarted the Sonic Renaissance. I owe you that much, you awful sack of crap. I'm still gonna rip on it every chance I get, though. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on The Z-Man Show. Bye-bye.